A mother dives into crashing waves to save her child. No one tells her to do it. No one promises a reward. In that moment, she makes only one choice: to risk her own life for another. But if evolution rewards selfishness, why do acts like this exist everywhere in nature? It isn't just mothers. Firefighters run into burning buildings. Doctors remain beside contagious patients. Complete strangers donate blood, organs, and time to help people they may never meet again. None of this seems to fit the simple idea of survival of the fittest. So what is really happening? In 1976, biologist Richard Dawkins proposed a radical idea. Perhaps we have been watching the wrong main character all along. Animals, plants, and even humans may simply be temporary vehicles. The true protagonists are tiny pieces of DNA called genes. To understand this idea, we must travel back nearly 4 billion years. Earth was nothing but primitive oceans and simple chemicals. Then one extraordinary molecule appeared. It could copy itself. From that moment, a competition lasting billions of years quietly began. Across millions of generations, those self-copying molecules became increasingly sophisticated. They formed cells, animals, and eventually humans. We often say, evolution created us. Dawkins turns that idea around. Genes are the enduring travelers, while bodies are temporary vehicles built to carry them into the future. Think of your body as an extraordinary survival machine. Your eyes detect opportunity and danger. Your brain learns, plans, and solves problems. Your heart, lungs, and muscles keep you alive long enough to reproduce. Nature was never aiming for perfection. It simply preserved the traits that helped genes make more copies of themselves. That is why many human traits exist today. Individuals who noticed danger sooner were more likely to survive. Those who cared for their children more successfully left more descendants. Over countless generations, these traits became common, not because nature had a plan, but because successful strategies were repeated again and again. But one mystery remains. If evolution is a competition, why is nature filled with cooperation? Wolves hunt together. Elephant families protect their young. Birds warn others when predators approach. None of these behaviors seem selfish. And this is where the book delivers its first major twist. Let's return to the mother from the beginning of our story. From her perspective, it is an act of love. From the gene's perspective, the picture looks different. Her child carries roughly half of her genes. By protecting that child, copies of her own genes gain another chance to survive. What appears completely selfless may also be an extraordinarily successful evolutionary strategy. This idea is known as kin selection. Genes do not recognize family, think, or make plans. Yet over millions of years, genes that encouraged organisms to protect close relatives were copied more often than those that did not. As a result, family care became one of nature's most successful patterns. Yet humans do not help only their relatives. We also cooperate with complete strangers. Dawkins explains this through reciprocal altruism. If I help you today and you help me tomorrow, both of us become more likely to survive. In many situations, cooperation is simply a better long-term strategy than constant competition. Here lies the book's greatest twist. A selfish gene does not always produce selfish behavior. Sometimes it produces cooperation, loyalty, and even sacrifice. Evolution does not reward kindness or cruelty. It preserves whatever strategies allow genes to survive most successfully in a particular environment. By now, you might think this story is only about biology. But in the final chapter, Dawkins takes a surprising turn. He asks a bold question. If genes can replicate themselves, could ideas do the same? If they can, then perhaps evolution happens not only inside our bodies, but inside our minds as well. Dawkins called these cultural replicators memes. A song, a story, an invention, or a belief can spread from one person to another. Memorable and useful ideas are shared again and again, while weaker ones slowly fade away. In many ways, culture evolves just as life does. This is what makes humanity unique. We pass on more than DNA. We pass on knowledge. Every generation can inherit the discoveries of the last without starting from scratch. That ability to accumulate ideas has allowed civilization to advance far faster than biological evolution ever could. Perhaps this is the book's greatest message. Genes built the brain, but the brain created ideas powerful enough to reshape the world. Evolution produced human beings. Human beings, through knowledge and culture, continue to shape the future in ways that biology alone never could. Let's return to the mother from the beginning of our story. Did she dive into the ocean because of a selfish gene? No. She acted because she loved her child. Dawkins was never trying to reduce love to an illusion. He was trying to explain how such powerful emotions could emerge and endure through millions of years of evolution. Perhaps the book's greatest lesson is not that humans are selfish, but that humans are capable of understanding themselves. We can recognize the instincts shaped by evolution. And because we recognize them, we can also decide when to follow them and when to rise above them. Richard Dawkins may have been right about one profound idea. Genes write the opening chapter of the human story, but they do not have to write the final one. Every choice we make, every idea we share, and every act of compassion helps shape a future that reaches beyond what DNA alone could predict. That is why The Selfish Gene remains one of the most influential science books ever written, not because everyone agrees with every conclusion, but because it invites us to see life from a completely different perspective. If today's journey gave you a new idea, share it in the comments. And if you'd like to explore more books that changed the way humanity understands the world, join us in the next episode of Knowledge Explained.